You worked on the Mall of America project.
I did. And that was interesting. The house was 2,600 square feet, and in 9 days, I was putting furniture in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was turnkey.
But you actually pre-built the...
We did pre-build a lot of it here, as much of it as we could, so it was a lot faster.
Didn't you build it inside of the indoor riding arena?
Yep.
That my dad owned?
Yep.
It's hard to find someplace big enough to build a house inside of. So we actually went to the horse arena that my dad owned at the time, and we pre-built put up all the logs and cut all the rafters, put the roof on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that you guys did that. Really interesting. Huh? And then you just I know I didn't pay attention. I know.
Thanks everybody for joining us here. We're talking to Mike Branch, who has been with GLH for many, many years, and we are going to talk to him today about some of his experiences over the past 40 years of being here, and also some of the different jobs that he's done and some of the different houses that he's been to, and how some of you might get to meet Mike in the future. I'm Lynn Gastineau.
I'm Lacey Schmidt.
And I'm Mike Branch.
And this is the Acorn Leaf podcast. Today we have a rare treat. We have with us a person that has been involved in the log home industry almost as long as I have, and his name is Mike Branch. Mike, thanks for being here.
It's an honor.
Mike, I'm not really what your title is these days. Do you?
Log home guru. That's what we.
That little card I got says Log Home Construction Specialist.
There you go.
There you go. Log home construction. He's been a lot of different things here in the organization. Had many, many different jobs. And when you started working the first time, working actually for our construction company.
Yes, that's what, like maybe 1984.
Yeah.
85 maybe.
I think Lacey was 3 years old.
Yeah, Lacey was 3.
Thank you for dating me. Yes, that's true.
No problem.
Now everybody can do the math.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I was 3, and you were stacking the house that I grew up in, that Lynn currently lives in.
Yeah. First job was working at the construction company building my personal home. So Mike's background has mostly was in construction. Mike, how many houses do you think you built?
I don't really know the answer to that. Probably 50 or 60. I don't know for sure. And been around a lot more of them.
Yeah.
Hundreds that I've been in.
Yeah, hundreds. Yeah, Mike has been able to see a lot more of our houses than I have because he's been out on the road and on the job site. Now, what you people might encounter Mike or meet Mike is if you come to one of our construction seminars, Mike does the afternoon construction segment. And if you buy one of our houses and you build it, Mike does what we call the QA visit, and it's quality assurance visit is what that stands for. But Mike, tell everybody what you do when you come to do a QA visit.
It's mostly just a written out form that involves everything with the settling of the house, so that the houses can actually work, and everything from the main floor up can settle and move down. So the second floor stays level, the roof stays straight. That's the biggest part of it. The windows and doors don't jam up. That's pretty much the biggest part of it.
Do you remember why we started doing these QA visits?
Oh, yes. Basically, when we went change log profiles, then we put in mostly all these selling details. And things started moving a lot more. Builders, it was hard to convince them that the houses were going to settle as much as they do.
Yeah, at the time, we had 2 guys that were on the road pretty much going around and dealing with issues of houses, and we decided, how can we stop this? Because most of the time they would go to have a callback or something. They would go and they would say, well, they know it wasn't built correctly. And ever since we've started doing these QA visits, the number of callbacks that we have as far as in any issues later on down the road with the house have really, really gone to almost nothing.
Which, when you say the builder is built incorrectly, what specifically was going on that you were finding?
The biggest thing was they wasn't leaving the 4-inch ceiling space for the interior walls, or they wasn't leaving the log opening above the windows. That was the two biggest ones. The biggest problem now is mostly trim. They may build the whole house to settle, and then for whatever reason, a different trim crew comes in or something, and they don't understand the selling at all. So that's but that's the easier part to fix.
Yeah, we knew that if we could go out during construction, when you can see how it's built, it's really easy to fix those things then, whereas it's not easy to fix it after that people are living in the house. It's completely finished.
If you did get the people to build it right with the selling details in the interior wall, there's nothing to say when the sheetrockers get there, they're to cover the selling gap up, and I mean, it's just the same thing.
And all this is detailed in our construction manual and other places, but the fact that we send Mike, like next week he's jumping on an airplane and flying to Oregon and then flying over to Montana and doing QA visits. We are dedicated to making sure that the house is built properly, and so that you don't have any issues, because all log homes are going to settle, and we completely 100% engineer to allow for that. So we got to make sure that it's done correctly. You have seen a lot of houses, and what is some of the coolest houses that you've seen as far as either where they're sitting on the property or the design or what the people have done, or what is some of the cool stuff you've seen?
The one down in Arkansas has to be real close to the top of my list as far as being just huge, nice, big houses. I don't even know the size of that house, but it's got to be 6,000 square feet or something. And it's just massive, awesome rock fireplaces. And it's just an awesome house. I've seen a lot of pretty neat houses in Japan and the mountains over there. A lot of pretty neat settings. And I don't know, there's just a lot of really neat houses. A lot of them in Colorado that have awesome views, and I just a lot of nice houses.
I didn't even mention that. How many weeks did you spend in Japan?
I was over there 7 weeks.
7 weeks with helping teach the Japanese how to put up log homes. And that was, that was back in...
I can tell you, Kaylee was 3 months old when I went over. That's my daughter. And she's 36
So 36 years ago. And then you also went to Taiwan?
Taiwan for a month.
And helped put up a house there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got to see the world in the at least in the woods, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But there's both experiences.
We did make a very good friend over there, though.
Yeah.
Mr. Naka was quite the gentleman. And then after he retired, he actually bought one of our houses and built it for his retirement home for himself. So that was before internet or anything. We did everything by fax machine.
Yeah.
The fact that we were able to do all those things across, internationally with nothing but a fax machine was pretty amazing. But it had to take tools over there. And one of the issues was that they're metric and we're inches, so all of our lumber is dimensioned to inches, so we had to take tape measures and things like that. They don't have inch tape measures, right. English.
That was interesting.
Yeah, you've also worked with a lot of different people here at GLH, and we've had some unique experiences together, haven't we, Mike?
Yeah, I mean the amount of people that have worked here since I've been here. I was actually thinking about that yesterday. I don't know what number that would be.
Hundreds.
I mean,
you worked on the Mall of America project.
I did, That was interesting. The house was 2,600 square feet, and in 9 days they was putting furniture in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was turnkeyed.
But you actually pre-built the...
We did pre-build a lot of it here, as much of it as we could, so it was a lot faster.
Didn't you build it inside of the indoor riding arena?
Yep.
That my dad owned?
Yep.
Because it's hard to find someplace big enough to build a house inside of. So we actually went to the horse arena that my dad owned at the time, and we pre-built put up all the logs and cut all the rafters, put the roof on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that you guys did that. Really interesting, huh? And then you just I know I didn't pay attention. I know. So then you disassembled it, and did you label it?
Yep.
Oh man!
Numbered all the logs.
And then put on a trailer.
Smarter than I look.
And they stained the outside and sanded and varnished the inside, so the logs were ready. You know, when they were stacked, they were ready. And
Wow. So surely, because nothing is as easy as you want it to be. What was tell us one story of a mishap or something that went wrong, even after all that
I
preparation.
don't really recall any mishaps. The lady that owned the damn store right there beside us, she bitched a lot about the noise. I listen to her quite often. But other than mishaps, I don't really remember.
Nothing wrong. Like rafters didn't
No,
after it was rebuilt.
really, the biggest mishap that happened during that project was we got started and put the floor down, and then it had to have sprinklers inside because it was enclosed inside the Mall of
Was
America.
there electric running to it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had lights and
lights and everything.
But,
Okay.
Yeah, but we had to have sprinkler system in case it caught on fire.
Mhm.
And to save the people that were inside, I guess. But anyway, so what was it? The guys didn't show up.
There was union plumbers, nothing
Oh,
against
that's
union
right.
plumbers, but they don't really get no big rush, and they take all their breaks and lunch hours. And the sprinkler system took 9 hours, and once they left, we laid the logs in 9 hours.
Yeah. So we put the floor down, and then we started at 10 o'clock at night. So then we're sitting there all night watching these guys put the sprinkler system down because
You
we had to
couldn't
put
do
the ply.
anything
We had to
until-
put the plywood over the top of it after they put it in the floor joist. We had to put the sheeting down. There's crews of us just standing around watching, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for them to get the sprinkler system in the floor. We thought it would take an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah. It was like 9 hours or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But
So-
no other. I mean, I can just see like we forgot this. It's sitting in the in that arena. It's one of those like, oops,
No,
that bag.
the only thing I really recall us forgetting was a jigsaw. But you're in the Mall of America, it's easy to buy one.
Yeah.
I still own it.
Memories with that jigsaw. How funny. Okay. Wow. That's impressive.
And then I remember when 1990, we got ready to build our first, well, it wasn't our first model home, but our first freestanding model home with no offices in it and the Ashton. And you were in charge of construction. And like the week before we started,
And OS broke my arm playing softball.
he knew where that story's going.
What were you thinking playing softball?
It was a Gastineau
How
Log
dare
Home.
you.
It was a Gastineau Log Home team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't criticize him because he was playing on the company team.
Yeah, I
But
knew,
that's why we quit having a company softball team. We had too many people got hurt.
knew where that was going.
What were you telling me a while ago about you're the lucky man because?
Yeah, I've told Lacey this too. 3 women for bosses. Was 2 up till just a few years ago.
Then Lacey started. So he's got Mindy, you, and me.
Yeah, right.
He's such a lucky guy.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Very lucky guy.
Yeah, Mindy tells me the same shit.
She's not wrong either.
Whatever.
You've spent your whole adult career in this industry just like I have.
Pretty much so, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Mike and I are actually the same age. He's a few months older than me, but just a few. But we are actually the same age, and we actually have known each other since we were 16 years old.
Something like that, yeah.
So, Mike, couldn't you Tell everybody kind of what you do today in addition to doing quality assurance visits and customer satisfaction visits.
I check material lists and plans. After Lynn does them, I check them. And I do customer satisfaction visits, which is the adjustment of the house after the homeowner has lived in it for 6 months or so. I do the construction seminars, the hands-on part of that, and I try to answer construction questions. If a contractor is getting stuck on something and they call in, I try to talk them through that. Usually it works out pretty well.
He saves me a lot. I get a lot of questions, and I try to answer them, and I either confirm that what I said is correct or not with Mike, and or just have Mike talk to them directly because yeah, he's the guy that knows. I mean, he knows the answer to things, and if he doesn't know the answer, he can usually figure it out. It's pretty impressive.
And occasionally that question comes in that you've never heard before, and I don't know the answer, but usually I discuss that with Lynn before I tell him. Usually she agrees, but I don't know.
A lot of times we've had situations we're trying to figure something out, and we bounce each ideas off each other, and he'll come to me with you'll come to me with something, and I'll look at it and think, well, we could do that, or we could try this, and you go, well, that won't work because of this, but so there's always unique things that come up, aren't there?
Yes, I mean, yeah, and you think them through your head, and it all seems so good, and then till you come to that last thought, and then it don't work. So that's just
yeah.
What I think is really incredible is the fact that there are still questions that haven't been asked, and just the new questions that still come up, that, and whether that's I mean, just homes are designed differently now, or any number of reasons as to why that is, but it's still it's there's always something new to learn.
Yeah, and some of the questions just off the wall, but there's some of them that's actually legit that I've never heard before.
Mm-hmm. Houses are different. Every house is different, and the exact situation you think you get into. But I was at a log home show this past weekend, and I did my seminar on dreams to reality, and this lady asked me after the seminar, how long is an appraisal good for? And I had no idea. By the way, it's 3 to 6 months. But I had to Google it. I did not know how long they were, and I was like, nobody has ever asked me that question. And so
interesting.
Yeah, we get construction things come up in all the time. You would think that we would have seen them all, wouldn't you?
You would think so, but not the case.
Yeah, and I mean, building all over the country too. The different codes that are throughout the different areas of the country always brings up new unique things too sometimes.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, that can be really confusing.
And then builders call things different names, and that's always one that gets me. Is they half the time when they call in and ask a question, it's figuring out what they're really talking about.
Right. The different terminology across the country there's a lot of difference, and that is one of the harder things, just figuring out what they are talking about.
So when somebody has a question, they bring it to us. If we'll have we kind of have several people that deal with it. Sometimes we end up going back to TJ in the design and engineering, and we have to look at the plans and or talk to him about how something was made before we can answer. But there's a variety of people here that have got a lot of years of experience. TJ's been with us for 18 years. You and I have been here for 100 years each. So there's a lot of years of experience here.
I mean, we do a lot of different things, though, if you really think about it, besides just build houses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with the whole milling operation and just everything from coming in as cans as 6 by 8s or 8 by 8s, and the milling process of it, and the shipping of it, and the building and ordering all the other materials that we don't supply. I mean, the windows and doors, there's just a lot to it.
Yeah, the variety of employees that we have is crazy. We have everything from guys working in the mill and running forklifts, and carpenters building park models, and salespeople and accounting people, and construction people and the variety, the marketing people and there's just so many different types of people we have.
A lot of different areas.
Looking back, if you knew what you know now, would you have come to work in the construction company building log homes?
Don't answer that, maybe.
It can be cut.
Yeah. No. I've enjoyed it. I mean, and this really ain't sucking up, but no, I really have enjoyed it. It's something I've looked forward to. Probably 98% of the days I've came to work here. There's been a few days that weren't that great. But no, elsewise I wouldn't be here no more. I'd be retired.
One of the cool things about this, though, Mike, is that we've gotten to meet and talk to people all over the United States every day. No 2 days are ever exactly the same, and I think that's one of the things I love about it is being able to live in central Missouri, but you get to meet people all over the United States, even all over the world.
Right.
And not many jobs here in central Missouri you can have that experience.
Right. And I probably have a favorite bar in about every state.
As you should. You travel a lot. It's
right. Right.
It's needed.
All right. Well, it's been great talking to you. I thank you for coming and doing this. I know that it's always interesting to look back on this many years of experiences and try to share them with people, at least the ones we can talk about, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of things running through my mind right now.
One thing I would like to say, Mike, is thank you for everything. You not only have been a great asset to the company for 47 years, but you've also have been a lot of fun to work with.
Sure.
Mike and I always like to work hard and play hard, and it's been great working with you. So, well, both of us will retire someday, won't we?
Sure. Yeah, that's what I hear.
I don't know what I would do without you, both of you, either of you. Thank you. Yeah. Same from me. Thank you you saved my ass several times, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, sometimes you make me laugh.